Rams are going to have to get over is their running game. And I don't want to say that it's the curse of Stafford, but I saw that on Twitter that, oh, man, now Stafford doesn't have a running game this season. You never want to see any player get injured, especially a young, talented kid like Cam Akers coming out of Florida State. Ankle? What a beast. This was going to be his year, Joique.
Yeah. I don't understand. How did he tear his
Achilles.
No, did he tear it like training?
It was not at the facility, so everybody, there's just a bunch of questions about how it happened, where it happened, why it happened. So
falling
it was
down the
off-site.
stairs, possibly. Right. I don't know, dropping a plate.
I'm gonna tell you this. I don't know what story he gave the team, but I had a friend who played, and he tore his ankle up, like during the season, and told the coaches one thing, and he stuck that story all the way out. And when he finished, the true story came out.
What was the true story? Can you tell the true story? You don't have to disclose the
name.
Don't
say his name, but tell the story.
No. I'm not going to tell the story because you guys will put two and two together if you think about it. Yeah. And
running back?
I'm definitely not going to say the position.
Give me a hint. Let's play 20 questions. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
No, but basically.
So how much of an effect is it? Obviously, we're 50 days away from the NFL season, right?
It's over. I mean, he won't be back 100% until a year from when he tore it.
Right.
Like to get back and feel to where he's like. Even when I had my Achilles surgery, my surgery it wasn't totally ruptured, but basically they had to detach my Achilles from my heel. They had to shave out this cyst, shave down the bone, and then reattach my Achilles back. And that's not as severe as like rupturing your Achilles all the way through. And so for me, I was out for 4 to 6 months and came back right at 4 months, which I came back too early. And you can tell in my play. So I had to sit out for a few more, like for another month and a half or so. And I came back and I was still only about 75-80%, but I kept getting stronger throughout the season.
Right.
But what he has is going to take probably 6 to 8 weeks before he even gets the surgery, or probably say a month, to be able to get that swelling down, because what it's going to do is going to help him on the back end on recovery. And so he's not going to go through and get the surgery right now. He shouldn't.
Okay.
He should wait. He should wait for the swelling to minimize, and then going for the surgery.
Question. So you were more of a power back, right?
Yeah.
You do have speed. I'm not saying you don't have speed, but you were known as our power back. Reggie Bush was the speed
Lightning
guy.
Thunder.
Does an Achilles affect a speed guy more than a power guy? Because I'm assuming it would affect a power guy more, because you gotta really push off and hit those guys. But then speed guys, they gotta cut more. So you think it affects a guy like Cam Akers more than it would affect a power back?
Same.
Same. Okay.
Because we're doing the same amount of cutting. The same power that I need to kind of run through a tackle, the same type of power he's going to need to be able to run away from defenders.
Got it.
So that's just a hard injury to come back for any skill player.
Yeah.
How important is it, and as being a former athlete, to like take it easy during the off season? Like I see like NFL players skydiving. I see them like doing crazy shit, jumping at trampoline parks, even like little stuff. But how important is it to take care of yourself, because you're needed when the season starts?
I'm not gonna tell you not to live life. Some things that I wouldn't do, but some people like to do. Like for me in the off season, I love to go to take vacations at 5-star resorts and lay up, get massages.
Me too.
Me too, Joique.
Yeah, that's what I like to do. I mean, and when you're playing at that level, you can afford to go do things like that.
Right.
I think that's safe. Like but then again, you have guys who they don't like that. They want to go. My home, he likes to go sledding on the side of volcanoes.
What the fuck? While he was in the league?
Yeah. Like he go or.
So do they have like people to talk to you about this shit? Like, hey man, like chill.
Or strap himself to the front of a plane, right, in the air.
To the front of the plane?
To the front, outside of the plane, to the front, and then unstrap himself, and then walk across the wing of the airplane with no parachute.
That was Levy. Levy used to do that, right?
It was Levy. It was took the GoPro, grabbed it, and then walked back to his seat and strapped it while he's in the air.
Yeah. Owners just having strokes.
While he's
They're
in
like,
the air.
God, no.
But you know what? But that's what he liked to do.
That's what drives them, right?
Yeah, that's what he doesn't like to take. Or he'll go to the middle of the jungle, go to a tribe, get a guide or a tour guide, and he'll take them on a tour throughout the jungle for like a week or 2 weeks at a time. And the only thing you eat is what you catch. So he'll catch rats, catch frogs.
Would you do that, Stick? I'd do that in a heartbeat.
I would, but I'd probably starve within a day. Like, I am not an avid hunter.
I'm not a Fredbear in the jungle.
I was playing disc golf last week, and I was bitching about the mosquitoes, saying I could never make it on Naked and Afraid.
He took a picture. He caught 3 rats and 2 frogs and had them like stuck on sticks. And
does he bring salt and pepper?
Hold on, and took a picture of him and said 5-course meal. 5-course meal.
I don't know about rats.
That's a different level, man.
I can eat frogs, but not rats, man. Frogs are okay. Rats, all they eat is shit. That's disgusting. That's like eating a bear. It's disgusting. They're trash bandits. Ugh.
Oh, no.
That's next level. Well, I want to talk more about Cam Akers and what it means for the potential Lions draft picks that we have coming back from the Rams, and just more about what that does to a team when you lose your starting running back 50 days before the season.
Yep.
But Cam Akers obviously being out, the Lions have the next two first-round draft picks for the Rams. No. Do you think them losing their top running back like this it hurts them in that capacity, where the draft position for the Lions will be better this year?
Yeah, so this is what's going to happen. You're going to have this guy in certain positions that Cam Akers, he's been in before. He's going to know how to handle it, versus this guy going in who doesn't have that same amount of experience. Been in those type of situations where I'm not going to say he might fold, but he might not do the job as well.
Right.
And so it's going to take a lot of reps with the ones. It's going to take a lot of reps during preseason. And, in this league, the injury rate is 100%. So it's not a matter of when he gets hurt, but, might be a point in time in the year where he might go down, or he has to play through some injuries or go through some adversity, and you got to see how he'll handle it.
Does this affect Stafford at all, do you think? Like, because, obviously
because he's a
gunslinger.
He's a gunslinger. And so, if we can't get it done that way, he's just going to have to, bring out his own line days and slinging it. And so will that affect him to where he becomes one-sided and they know they're about to pass? Will that affect him? Of course it will.
Does it offend you when people say Stafford never had a running game?
No, he definitely had a running game.
Right,
yeah,
but that's one of the excuses you hear.
No, I would say he didn't have a consistent running game throughout his career. I would say that.
Yeah,
but I can say you can never say he never had a run game.
Okay.
Like, we had a run game, but he didn't have a consistent run game throughout his entire career.
And that's fair. That's fair. But like when you have these conversations about Stafford and where he stands in like the lore of NFL history, and one of the things that always gets brought up is, well, it was in Detroit, he never had a run game, and he didn't have the weapons around him. And so
what you do
as a former running back for Matthew Stafford, I'd be like, hey, what the hell am I? John Liver?
No.
But those are fans talking, not players.
No, I hear what you're saying. And then you have to look at everything. Look at the statistics. A good defense can make a better offense. A better offense can make a better defense. Yeah. A great special teams can make a better offense, putting you in a better field position. It can make a defense better by, putting the team backed up into their territory. And so it's all around. And so you have to look at the statistics from everyone, from the running backs, tight ends, O-line, the quarterbacks, the D-line, linebacker. You have to look at the statistics around the board, because everything is like if your knee is hurting, your knee might not be the problem. You might have tight hips. So everything is correlated. So it's not just a person playing bad because,
one thing.
Because of one thing, because of him. It could be
makes sense.
It could be a pileup of certain things happening in the game that can cause a player to not do well on a certain play.
When you have an injury, and Joique, speaking from experience of being on the Lions, when you have an injury, other players, obviously it's a misfortune. It sucks, especially someone like Cam Akers. But does that force the other talent to say, this is my time to go? And does the coaching encourage that?
Yeah, for sure.
You have to.
For sure. They always, even in a meeting, they tell you it's next man up. This is a next man up league. This is a next man up. Take advantage of the opportunity, because the injury rate is 100%. So it has to be next man up.
Do you agree with Joey 2 times, who says that people acting like Cam Akers carries that franchise like Barry Sanders did? What are your thoughts on that?
To me, Cam Akers was going to be a top 5 back in the league this year. No, he's not Barry Sanders, so I'm never going to go down that route.
No,
but when you look at his production and what he did at the second half of the season last year and just how he started to take over and he would impose his will on games, like Cam Akers was going to surprise a lot of people this year. I was talking about it earlier. Like out of the draft last year, and it was a deep running back draft last year. You had Swift, you had Dobbins, you had CEH, you had Jonathan Taylor, and you had Cam Akers. That's 5 solid starting running backs to come out, and I would argue it was Jonathan Taylor and Cam Akers as the top 2. So, he may not be Barry Sanders, but he's a damn good running back.
Yeah. And give me those names. You had Dobbins in there?
Yeah,
okay.
J.K. Dobbins, DeAndre Swift.
So you put J.K. Dobbins over Cam?
No, I had Cam over J.K. Okay. J.K.'s going to get his love this year because Ingram's out, so he's going to get his love. Yeah. And I think J.K.
because I like J.K. Dobbins. I like him a lot. I like them from Ohio State.
Yep.
Because he actually took some carries away from Mike Weber.
Yes.
Yeah, he took some carries away from him, but I like both those backs. And Mike Weber is actually with New York now.
Is he in New York now? He left Green Bay?
Yep, he's with the Giants now. So
nice.
Shout out to Mike Weber. And so
you've had him on the show before too, right?
Yeah, I had him on the show. We got to get Dobbins on here next.
There you go.
We got to get Dobbins on here.
No, I like Dobbins. I think he's a hell of a running back. I just love Cam Akers because when he was at Florida State, that was when Florida State had like their worst offensive line that they've had in decades, and he was still putting up numbers and just making people look like a fool. So I always was like, if he can do that with that offensive line, if you put anything in front of that kid, he's just going to blow up, and you saw it at the second half of last season.
Yeah, he is. I just want him to, when he comes back, it's going to be tough for him even next season.
Right.
Because his training is going to be not what it was this past offseason.
Right.
How hard is it when you have an injury that is that significant for someone like Akers? Because you see it in basketball all the time, to where you have a sprained ankle and you're still on the court. Sometimes you're in street gear or you're
no, it'll be fine. So the thing is, he'll be back running on his after the surgery. He'll be back running, I'll say, November, December. Like, he'll be back running.
Is it jogging. Hard as an athlete not to push it too hard, though? Like, look at someone...
This is the thing, though. The thing is, you'll start to overcompensate, and then boom, there goes your other one. That's why people tear their ACL in both knees a lot of times. It's really common because you start to overcompensate because you're trying to get back, and you'll push too hard, and now you're overcompensating on your left leg because your right ACL is tore, and then boom, your left one tears. Yeah. And so that's very common.
Such a violent sport, man. Like, honestly, I know, Art, you love UFC because of the violence and the intensity.
Well, yeah, but
that's why I love football so much. There is nothing, to me, it's the ultimate chess match with the biggest dudes and the best athletes on the planet going at it. And every Sunday, it's just beautiful to watch.
But that's why I bring it up, because someone like Conor McGregor, who's like, I'm going to get back to training. And it's like you mentioned, you can tear the other one just as easily because you overcompensate. That's different.
That's a broken bone.
But it's still an injury and pushing too hard.
Nah, they can put a rod in there, heal it up, and then once it's healed, I mean, that has nothing to do with this. Art.
Kennedy, you over there talking trash? You over there talking trash in the comments about me and Cam Akers right now?
All right.
You.
That's okay. You cannot agree with me, but I don't need you trashing me.
I just told someone that we're on the same page. I just said we're on the same page. I didn't say anything.
You don't think Cam Akers is a good running back?
I don't think he's bad. No, I don't think he's bad at all. Don't get me wrong. But, like, statistically, like, looking at the numbers, last year, Henderson was better. And I think a lot of people are, like, freaking out about this Akers injury because he's fresher in their minds. He was more explosive the second half of the season, like you said. Yep. So I get the panic, but they're going to be okay.
Chance in the world to be that lead back, and they drafted Cam right in front of him because they knew he's not that dude.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what he does now, but I'll just wait.
But I'm reading all this, guys. I see you.
Why, so why do you like Henderson?
I think Cam's good. I will run your fantasy league. I'll take all your money.
So why would you run? So why would
you will too. My fantasy leagues always suck. You would take all of my money.
Oh my God. I would enjoy taking all of it.
It's Maz for Legacy Partners Insurance. You need insurance, they've got insurance. LegacyPartnersINS.com /Woodward Sports.